Today on From Where to Here, we're welcoming a very special couple, Julio and Zuseth, originally from Panama.
It was hard in the beginning. I want to go back. I remember I cry a lot because I don't have my family. And here we were, Julio and I. But I believe all that experience we have helped us to grow like a couple. He understands me and I understand him. In Panama, when you behave like not good, we'll call you Rakataka.
This whole thing, with the music, come the dancing. It's a big part of your culture. Who's the better dancer?
Me.
Yeah, hair, absolutely, yeah.
When I came here, I remember one word that I know perfectly. Apple.
Apple?
When I came here to United States, to be honest with you, I just knew like what I learned pretty much in school, like the colors, the day of the week, the month of the years, stuff like that. But I wasn't able, to have a conversation like I'm having with you right now. Because we are here because we decided to.
Sweet Home, Alabama.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Lloyd, a French Canadian who's called Birmingham, Alabama home since 2017. Welcome to From Where to Here, the podcast that celebrates the rich diversity of languages, cultures, and the stories that connect us all. Each month, I'll sit down with inspiring guests from different backgrounds to explore their cultures, languages, and tackle some fun in our Truth, Dare, or Debunk segment. Whether you're a language enthusiast, a culture lover, or just curious about the world, you're in the right place. Let's dive into your next favorite cultural adventure. As far as the truth, what's something that people think is true and actually is true about Panama from your experience?
Well, I believe the same following what she's talking about is the people think about Panama like that first, like everybody speak English because we were part of United States because the construction of the Panama Canal, not too many Panamanians speak English. And it's surprise, but it's the reality because that happened, few generations or like 1 or 2 generations ago. Now people, they are in other stuff, but back in the days, that was a thing, but not now.
I know.
And people, they think like because we have been, so close to the United States for like 100 years, they think like everybody in Panama speak English, but it's not true.
In my fact, when I came here, I remember one word that I know perfectly. Apple.
Apple? Why apple? Did you love apples?
Not really, but I like the sound, apple. I don't remember when I just started learning, it was like, oh my God, the English is more than apple.
So you didn't know any words in
No.
English?
No, I don't.
When I came here to United States, to be honest with you, I just knew like what I learned pretty much in school, like the colors, the day of the week, the month of the years, stuff like that. But I wasn't able, to have a conversation like I'm having with you right now.
Yeah.
And we study English in Panama, but I want to make clear, in my case, I study English just to pass. Because I really never in my mind, I was thinking I will come to United. I will live in some place that they speak just English.
Yeah. It was just part of the curriculum.
Exactly. I got to go to it, and then I just pass, and I have my A. Bye.
Yeah. It also wasn't giving you the tools to get out in the world.
We have a phrase that say like, in the land of the blind man, the one eye is the king.
What is it in your language first? So I can try it.
Okay, in my language, o sea, en la tierra del ciego, el tuerto es el rey.
Whoa, that's long. En la tierra del ciego.
Del ciego.
Del ciego.
Ajá, que no puede ver.
A que no puede.
Ajá, el que tiene nada más un ojo is the king. Es el rey. O sea, that means the sometimes is that, some people, they take advantage. We use that expression is, for people that they think, though, sometimes they are too smart, but they are not
smart?
too smart. Yeah, too smart.
Yeah.
But they are not really too smart.
So give me a situation where you would use that.
For example, like a person, I don't know, building something, and that person think like, I'm, I know how to do this, but he's with a bunch of lawyers or accountants. They don't know nothing about construction. But then he feel like he is bigger than them because he knows, a little bit about how to do stuff. He's talking with people
That
they don't know nothing about what he's doing. And we can use all the way around too. We can say a lawyer, try to be like at a big thing with with a person that is a landscaper.
Okay, so then you will say,
And I will say, like, that landscaper, I mean,
what's the expression you would say? I guess the phrase that you mentioned. I just want you to say it again.
So there is
okay, en la tierra del ciego,
el tuerto.
el tuerto es rey. El tuerto significa one eye. If you are in a land of everybody's blind, if you got a one eye, you're gonna be the king.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you can see with one eye.
Okay,
I don't
very
know
good.
if that makes
Very
sense,
good.
but you asked me, and it's spontaneous.
That's good. That's great. What about you, Zuseth?
Okay, I will teach you one thing that you're
Yeah.
going to laugh at, and I know for sure you will remember this.
Okay.
In Panama, when you behave like not good, we'll call you Rakataka.
This whole thing? Nagu,
Rakataka. Rakataka, I mean,
katakata.
you not behave correct, like you behave without education. You are Rakataka.
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 And what about
I
Shumali?
like that.
To marry, you are Rakataka, but a little bit more high. That
Do you say that to your kids, let's say, or
absolutely.
to friends?
Even my daughter right now, sometimes when she speak with me, she say, "Oh, she's Rakataka."
So you just say, you're Rakataka.
Exactly.
Maybe I start saying that to my husband.
Say, you are Rakataka. Oh my God, it's Rakataka. It's mean. It's like you not behave correctly, like a culture. It's like a educated. You're not educated. You're not doing the stuff you should do.
What's a situation of your daughter that your daughter would say that to her?
Okay, when she scream and she scream and she out breath like this, and I say, Diana, you behave like Rakataka.
Okay, got it.
You behave.
And also,
Rakataka.
and also Rakataka is like if I'm here and I get out right now and I say, I take possession of this place, and I don't know how to control myself to be, like I invitee in your house. But I feel like
I open the refrigerator. I want to cook it, and you don't even tell me. So said, come on and cook it.
I just get up and we're in the middle of the conversation. I
You
get up.
Rakataka.
Yeah, I go into the your refrigerator and I get,
Rakataka.
a glass of orange juice.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then they say like, "What's up, girl?"
Exactly.
And, I dare to say that, like, "What's up, girl?"
She's so in love with that word. Always, Mom, she act like a Rakataka. Yes, she did.
Oh, love it.
We have a lot of moments of sadness, especially for me when we decided to speak English. For me, was devastated because I had to learn another language, forced to learn another language. So when I decided,
In what ways were you forced?
because we decided to don't be exposed inside to the house. We don't watch TV in Spanish, and then we're going to shore in English. We do everything, or the people around us. We try to have a friend that speak English, so I can learn better. I was immersed in that.
Yes.
So thinking about it, my mind in Spanish and in English, and then 90% before, 100% in my town, but in here, then we decided to learn the language correctly. So then was the shock. So it's been, I remember when my daughter went to school, we had to read to her every night a book. In that moment, I don't speak English. So Julio take that role, and he take Diana and read with Diana every night a book we heard. So it was like a process. We try our daughter to be very protective from us. So, but was hard. But thank you for that. We are the couple we are.
Absolutely. You know, this is very inspiring. A lot of people think that it's impossible to learn a second language as an adult. What would you say to people that struggle to learn a second language as an adult? What has been key for you to pick up on the language so well?
Okay, and with my case, just accept that you're in a country that speak another language. Don't impose your language, your first language in others. It's mean for me is this is the United States of America. They speak English. Everything in here is labeled in English. So just immerse in that. Accept it with kindness. We are in the United States. You know, it's for me was a struggle because I want to go back to my country. I don't want to accept that.
So that was a hard thing to do for you at first.
Yes. When a moment I accept that I'm not going to go back, then I learning. And then the other stuff is like when I had to take my daughter to the doctor. I remember the first 2 years I had to have interpreter, and then in the school too. But then I say, what am my daughter going to look at me if I always I have an interpreter? So she never going to see me like, oh, my mom, she speak English. She's I'm proud of her. She always see me like I have an interpreter. So I never forget the day I walk from the appointment with my daughter, and I felt like the interpreter, she did not tell the doctor what I mean. Then I say, Zuseth, you got to do what you got to do. So after that, I decided no more interpreter for me. So I walked in the room with the doctor, and I remember Dr. Bolas, I love her. She I started speaking with her, and she was so proud of me because I speak with her in English.
How long did it take from the moment you said, I want to be able to no longer have an interpreter in the room and understand what the doctor is telling me, what the teacher is telling me about my daughter, to the moment of you're walking in by yourself without an interpreter? Like, what was that time frame?
I was 2 years in United States, but I was scared to speak. I learned, but I did not want to speak. So then when I decided, the fear go away, and then I started speaking. It's been the next appointment, my daughter going to appointment every 2 months. So in the moment I decided in 2 months, the next time I confront my fear.
But how long took you to do that?
To learn Spanish?
No, English.
English, like 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, nice.
And then for me, is like I went to this church that they teach me Spanish, English every Sunday. So I went over there and they teach me, was a personal teacher. So they teach me a lot and I try my best to do it. But I was scared.
Yeah. Wow. This is very admirable. And you've come a long way doing that. Julio, I want to talk about the language learning. You've spoken passionately about learning English before, in not just to survive, but to thrive. And I think you both are just great example of taking the challenge of learning a language you've never mastered before and then being able to speak it and work in that language and live in it. What do you think mastering English, or why do you think mastering English matters so much for immigrant success?
Yes, you say it perfectly. I believe, though, in order to be successful here in the United States or in any other country, you have to learn the language properly in order to be successful. I remember when we came here in 2002, we used to live in the Center Point area. And one day I was in a gas station. I was here just like, no, at that moment, yeah, I was, a few months here, and I was having trouble to be able to pump gas. And I went inside to the clerk, and I imagine I was talking in a broken English, and there was a lady. She was very rude with me, and she embarrassed me because she told me like she didn't understand me, but she wasn't like the person that was trying to understand me. She was the person that told me like, you have to get out of here because I have no idea what you're talking about. And let me tell you, I was 32 years old at that time. This man that I'm not dummy, I am, I believe that I'm smart and everything, but I just, at that moment, I didn't know the language, but she treated me like I was a dummy man. And let me tell you, I remember I wasn't able even to tell her what I want to tell her. I just get out of the gas station. I went back off in my car with my tail between my legs. And got dog, and I went and I went to another gas station that was just across the street, and I pumped the gas. But at that moment, I remember I felt so embarrassed with myself. Nobody knew what's going on, just me. That I said like, this never gonna happen to me again. Because the next time that I have to go inside to a gas station, at that moment, that's what I was thinking. I was able to tell the lady or the man or whatever it is, the clerk, hey, I need $20 to pump gas. Or I want to fill up, my tank. And let me tell you, that was one of my motivations, because I said like, I don't want to going through this again, because at that moment I was like, because I know me, and at that time affect me so bad that I was for days in my mind remembering that stuff. And I was like in kind of like a depression, like just thinking about that.
In your
Yeah,
head.
in my head, I was repeating, watching the face of that woman talking to me in that way. And I said like, that never gonna happen again. And let me tell you, never again happen.
So that became your motivation. What was the next step that you took from that moment? How did that evolve into you learning English? To walk us through just kind of that process.
Once when I was in that stuff, I remember something the success say that I said like, because I was, Panamanian, I said like, I want to learn every day a new word. And I used to have a dictionary. There was that Webster dictionary. And I said like, I'm going to learn every day, 5 words, 5 new words. I don't know how to put it together in a sentence here. In a sentence yet, but I'm going to learn words, what that means. And I was doing that stuff every day. Every single day, learning a new word. And then once when was like after a year, 2 years doing that stuff every day, I said like, I have to put all this in sentences. And then I started to learn how to conjugate verbs and stuff like that. And then, and I remember that I told Zuseth, also, I didn't want to work with Hispanic people, but not because, I have any, actually, I love my people, but I wanted to work with American people because I wanted to be out of my comfort zone. My comfort zone was to speak Spanish. And I said, like, I don't want to speak Spanish because that is natural in me. I want to be, with a southern people from here talking me like, hey, Julio, come on, man, you have to go up here and do this. And that's what I did. How I realized that I was learning the language, I started to dream in English. Talking in English with people in Panama. I was talking in English with my friends here. And I say, like, when I used to wake up, I say, oh my gosh, I was speaking English in my dream.
How fun. Did he ever wake you up dreaming in English?
I don't remember. Well, he been telling me, like, I dreaming in English. I say, good for you. I know that area yet.
How was this experience for you of learning English? Was it a similar journey for you, or?
No, it was that because my first job, I was a waiter in Golden Corral. Golden Corral is a restaurant, and all the kitchen was Spanish. So I cannot practice the English that way over there. So, and then remember what I say about in the beginning, I was fighting with myself to learning. I saw Julio that he was, oh my God, he can communicate it and he can do all that stuff. But in the same way, I felt frustrated. I felt like, oh my God, I'm 32 years old and I have to learn another language. It was frustrating. But now, when we decided to start our careers, when I work is full English. So I saw myself now like, oh my God, you really speak English, because I'm being communicated with them in all the time, and I drink in English now. So it's been different. And then, women have different, in the house, you have to do, I cook. I had to be organize the house. I had to do all the grocery, buy everything that the house have been in order. So we have another worries that men going and they going and work. I work, but in the same way, I have another thing that I had to do. I had to make sure the house is clean. I had to make sure my daughter was going to school. I had to make sure she had the homework done, the school card. I was in another area of my life, So when she left the house, then they say, oh my God, I can do something. So I discovered myself in all these 23 years we here. I discovered myself in different stuff. So for me now, I know I speak English. I laugh it, but it's the truth. When I go to my country, when my family around, we went to a place that they speak English, I can interpret it for them. Or if we can see a video, I can tell them, oh, this is what they say. So I feel proud of myself in that, in the English. But I'm not that obsessed about it. If I can speak Spanish, even I speak Spanish, like if I call AT&T, and they say, one for English and two for Spanish, I'm going to put it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't do that.
What do you do?
I do English.
You do English?
English.
To challenge yourself?
I always want to be out of my comfort zone.
I'm a little bit like that in the sense that I would do that in Spanish. I had to call Amazon, I think, or something of service. I was like, oh, let's try it. And the person on the phone was so kind. She was like, oh, because I told her ahead of time that I picked that for learning the language. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm happy to keep going in Spanish if you want, because I think at some point I was looking for my words, and just so kind. I think sometimes people don't realize you're just trying to immerse yourself. Exactly. And if they know, unless they are in a hurry or something, I find that they will take the time.
In the beginning, I used to be like that. I used to, to tell them hey, I want you to know English is my second language. I don't know how to speak well, but I want to, to try. And they used to be very, when I used to do that introduction, they were very welcome, with me, and they used to help me, but I used to do that, to challenge, myself.
In my case, when they, I say, I want to speak, do you have an interpreter or you have somebody to speak in Spanish? This is what I say. And they say no. I say, don't worry about it. I speak English. And I imagine they like a...
But sometimes you want to just get your task done.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to have to bother speaking English.
The other stuff I'm thinking about that the Hispanic people have jobs. Because if we start to not speak Spanish,
That's very
they
important.
don't need it. So they're going to not looking for.
Yeah.
So this is what I always try to do in Spanish. Building this.
I'm selfish. I'm sorry.
Zuseth, Julio, muchas gracias por todo. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us.
And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow From Where to Here. And in the meantime, keep exploring. Thank you for tuning in to From Where to Here. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who loves discovering new cultures. Follow us on Instagram at From Where to Here Pod for exclusive updates, behind the scenes moments, and a peek at upcoming guests. Until next time, keep learning, keep connecting, and keep celebrating the beauty of languages and cultures. À bientôt!